Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Wishwell Farms. It's another Saturday morning. The rain is holding off, so that's a good thing. I'm just wrapping up, packing these box trucks for farmers markets. My son will be out here in about 20-30 minutes, and we'll be heading out to Worthington, which is our first truck that leaves for market. And I'll show you the few things that I put in before he leaves for market that I did not show in the last video. So this time of year, there's just not a lot of product yet. I'll show you inside my cooler. It's basically empty, but we have to run it because I'm now getting Georgia cantaloupes in, Georgia sweet corn, and cucumbers and zucchini and all that good stuff. Got a few flats of local strawberries here from some of the Amish down the road, and Georgia peaches. All of those items I just showed you will be going on our mobile market trailer going to Marysville today. I only got it about half packed, but it doesn't leave for a couple hours, and we are going to be throwing a lot of product on there. I'll show you more of that when it gets daylight. But right now, here's the Worthington truck getting ready to head out. Today we have garlic scapes to add to the product mix. This is the top of a garlic plant. You have to pinch those off so all the energy is put into the bulb of the garlic before next month's harvest. And of course we have our salsa. So that's really the only two produce items I have to throw on the trucks before all of my employees take off to Columbus. That is going to be a different story during July and August. I'll be loading sweet corn, green beans, cucumbers, zucchini, bell peppers. I'm sure there's something else I'm forgetting, but that's the bulk of it. And then another thing I have to do before they leave is to give everybody their money box. I don't put these in the trucks the night before. I like to do it the morning of. Probably a lot safer to do that. So I just set it up there. I know it's dark. And then I'll throw the salsa and garlic scapes up there, and he is good to go. And the final thing to throw in the truck before he heads to Columbus is the clipboard. So every truck has a clipboard. I went over this briefly in a prior video, and my brother gave everybody a new price card for his garlic scapes. And then we're going to do a slight change up on the way we set up our display at Worthington. I know you can't see all this and it means nothing to you, but this is something I need to go over with my son before he leaves, about how I want my table set up, where I want things placed on the table, and the green outline represents our tents. Since I don't have time to go to the markets myself, I want to make sure my son knows exactly how I want everything set up and displayed at the farmers market, because Worthington is a huge deal. It's our biggest farmers market by far. That's the one I went to myself for almost 20 years. I just don't have time to go anymore. Since I've expanded our business slightly over the years and have all these trucks and trailers going to market, I would have to get up at least 3 a.m., maybe even 2:30 to get all the product packed on there on busy July and August Saturday mornings in order for me to be able to go. It takes me about an hour and a half to get everything packed before everybody leaves for the markets. And when I stay here, I can wait and get up until 4 o'clock. And then have that 6 a.m., that 5:45 truck ready to roll to Worthington. There's just too much risk of something happening somewhere at one of the markets. And if I'm not here to put fires out, we could be in big trouble. There's no backup. So that's why I can't be busy at a farmer's market. I have to be here on the farm in case I have to run somewhere in Columbus to fix a truck, deliver more produce, or a whole number of things that could go wrong on a Saturday morning when you have 7 locations running. So in the last farmers market video, someone mentioned in the comments, why don't I have a farm store? I do. We do have an on-farm market. It is right there. You aren't gonna be able to see anything today, and it's a big cluttered mess, but it's right inside there. And we have been running this stand for 26 years. This is the front of it. We have a closed sign up currently, but that is our farm stand. The entrance is right there. This will all be cleaned up for sweet corn season. We used to open it from May through October. Now we just do from sweet corn season, which is mid-July, through Labor Day. I do intend on making a video about our farm store and why we have shortened the season and why we are actually considering closing it for good. That'll be in one of the next videos coming up. There it is. Not sure what's going on with that. Oh, they're both off. Maybe that's just when he turns his headlights on. Must be some kind of running light. Yeah, it's not really necessary when it's this light out. It'll be full daylight here in a few minutes. So to the person that commented about having a light out, yeah, it's not really necessary unless you're driving in the dark, right? It'll be full daylight here in a few minutes. One truck down. Heading to Columbus. 3 more to go. And a trailer. This truck is for our small hometown farmers market. We won't be starting it for several more weeks. Well, I just discovered that I made my first blunder today. I gave the wrong money box to Worthington. I gave them the Marysville trailer box. It's not that big of a deal, and it's nothing like forgetting a money box. I thought I was gonna have to run my son down, going 90 miles an hour down the highway to catch him, because he cannot be late. He needs to be there right at 7 a.m. to have a full hour set up, or he will not be ready by sales time at 8 o'clock. The main problem with this is that since Worthington is so big, they have an extra $100 of start money in their box. Instead of $300, they have $400, because you blew through 5s and 10s pretty quick. And quarters. They have 4 extra rolls of quarters instead of 2 like everybody else. Hopefully it all works out. And fortunately, I will be stopping by there today about an hour and a half into the market. So if they need anything, I can run to the bank. All right, it's time to start working on this trailer. And speaking of blunders, I messed up my order the other day. I forgot to order bell peppers. So we have an empty slot here with no bell peppers. I'll just put our green tomatoes there, which I still have to finish picking. I gotta heap this box up. People love their green tomatoes at Marysville. So it's almost complete daylight. I'm gonna let it brighten up a little bit more before I finish loading this thing. We still got plenty of time. So I always load watermelon the night before, and normally cantaloupe. Since I knew I wasn't gonna be rushed today, I decided to hold off and put the cantaloupe on this morning, and I left them in the cooler instead. I will not be putting the berries on display here until we get to market. They'll kind of bounce and shift around, so they'll be stacked under the shelf until we arrive at market. But I do load all the tomato boxes that will be on display. These will be the ones that will be set on our tomato table that goes over the tongue. There's several reasons that I put this table over the tongue. First of all, it works great for a tomato sales area, and back in the day I used to have people walk into this tongue and smack their legs on it because they're looking at produce on the trailer and didn't see this. So when that table is over the tongue, people are forced to walk around it and don't have to worry about hitting their legs on it. So there's more tomatoes under the shelf, and let's go roll everything out of the cooler and get this thing loaded. All right, this is one of the first deliveries of Georgia cantaloupe. And they're a little on the small side. I don't even like to pick them out of my fields when they're this small. But you know, it's better than having nothing. The first delivery from Georgia is always a little on the small side. I think these are 110 count, 100 or 110 count. I would prefer a 80 or 90 count. I've seen our melons as big as a 60 count before. So people love their big cantaloupes. But this is the honey rock variety. At least that's what they call it. I doubt if it really is honey rock. That's what they're calling them. So I'm gonna get this trailer loaded up with, probably 2/3 of this bin. And then we'll work on to the next item. All right, I got 60 cantaloupe on there. That's probably enough for our very first market. I'll keep the other 50 for next Wednesday's market. We're not gonna be going on Mondays yet because I just have trouble getting berries on Mondays, being right after the weekend, but we will be there at our Marysville location on Wednesday, Fridays, and Saturdays right now until we get more products to add of our own. One bad cantaloupe, in the whole bin. That's not bad. There's always some loss when you're buying wholesale from Georgia. So I'm not complaining too much if there's only one bad melon. It happens from time to time. All right, time to load the good stuff. Georgia peaches and local Ohio strawberries. I think we'll put 4 boxes of peaches on display and a 5th box underneath the trailer for restocking. Next up, strawberries. Oh man, these are beautiful. Check those out. Those look delicious. Next up, Georgia sweet corn. You know, to be honest with you, I hate selling Georgia sweet corn. It just doesn't compare to local, fresh Ohio corn, homegrown corn. But people in Marysville will be asking for it if I don't put it on the trailer, so I have to have it. And I'll have to charge, I know last year I had to charge $1 an ear just to make my money back and a modest profit. This year, the prices have went down a little bit because Florida and Georgia overlapped a little bit, so I know corn prices were a lot lower this year than normal. Man, these noisy semis. I might be able to do 75 cents or 90 cents. Yet to be determined. I only have 8 crates of corn for today, which should be about right for our first one. Now, if this was our own homegrown corn, I would have to have a minimum of 20 tubs on here, or I would sell out in several hours. Next up, some cucumbers. I don't really like buying wholesale cucumbers either, but it's all you can get right now. You know, they come waxed. They're just like the ones in a grocery store. So much better when we have our own. Hopefully about 3 weeks. And then I got an extra 2 boxes. Red taters, baby red taters. These are called B-Reds. And you can't have red potatoes without green beans, right? Green beans are super expensive right now. $39 a bushel. They don't get much higher than that. They must be in tight supply. I like a little bag. I've never gotten them in a bag before. That definitely helps them last longer, but at the same time would allow them to mold quicker if they're kept warm for too long. We're going to start off with 1 bushel here. And we'll take a 2nd bushel with us. We sell them at $2.50 a pound, so we can still make money on beans. Eventually, when there's Ohio beans, those will be down to between $15 and $20 a bushel. So basically less than half of what they are now. But I normally don't have to worry about that because I grow about 8 or 9 acres of my own green beans, and I have a 1-row harvester, so we usually have plenty of our own beans on hand. Doing some last-minute relish labeling. This is our sweet pepper relish. We've been making it since 2004. It's an old family recipe that dates back generations. We used to rent out a commercial kitchen in Athens, Ohio, and then we transformed our old dairy facilities, which we sold the dairy cows in 2001, and now we have our own commercial kitchen to make our sweet pepper relish and our hot sweet pepper relish. Powell just pulled out, and now Clintonville, heading to Columbus. Final truck pulling out, heading to Dublin. Now we can finish up this trailer. All right, the Marysville produce trailer is officially ready to go. Unfortunately, I do not have any zucchini or yellow squash or bell peppers today, but I got my green tomatoes in there. So as soon as my employee gets here that's running the stand today, we will be off to Marysville. Italian Ice, where we set up our produce trailer, and this is her first day here, so I'm going to go help her get it set up and put it in place.
The thing was putting down the
that was a sound I don't hear every day.
You guys have a good day.
Thank you, you too.
When I was looking at the cash box, I held in the power button and I thought I was on SOS mode.
All right, we got the trailer in place. We just about have it set up. Got a little work to do on the tomatoes and the relish still. Like I said, at the house, I don't have yellow squash, zucchini, or bell peppers today, unfortunately. Just want to give you a quick walk around of what this location looks like. This is the 5 Points intersection here in Marysville, right off 5th Street. You can see it's got 5 roads merging together in this one busy intersection. And there's plans in the works for a roundabout here. I don't know how that's going to go over. It might interrupt our space here. But we're in this little parking lot of Ida's Italian Ice. And on busy Saturday mornings, once people realize we're here, this parking lot will be filled up with customers shopping at this stand. And also going to Ida's Italian Ice for Italian Ice in the afternoons. All right, we're officially open for business for 2024. Carly and Aubrey are running the stand today. And obviously there's no one shopping right now. I tried to avoid filming much when there's people shopping around the trailer. They might feel uncomfortable. But everything looks pretty good. We got a beautiful day here in Marysville. Now I am heading off to Worthington to help Gavin and Nate for a little while. On the road to Worthington, it's about a 25-minute drive from our Marysville stand. I don't normally attend the farmers markets, especially during a busy part of the season, because I just can't get away from the farm. I just got too many other things going on. But with all the new employees I have this year, I just feel like I needed to go for the first few markets to make sure I like the way they are setting everything up. And I was just a little short-handed today. I'm gonna be that third person that Worthington needs. It's far too big and busy for 2 people to run. They got by last week, but barely. Yeah, it's a pretty daunting feat to set up the Worthington stand with only 2 people and to run the entire thing for 4 hours without that third person. So I'll be there in a little bit and we'll see what's happening. I hope it's busy. All right, I'm here at the Worthington Farmers Market. Let's go check it out.
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw back.
Things are rocking pretty good. Are these all full still? We still got 2 stacks of full boxes. A lot of empty boxes there. Looks like a lot of empty grapes out. Still got 1 stack of grapes there. Still not real busy right now, but things are ramping up. So there's our salsa, all the herbs, tomatoes. So we moved our stand down this way 1 space. We're going to have a 10-footer here on rainy days that'll cover this table and the salsa. But on a day like this, the 3rd tent is not needed, and we just use the 2 10 by 15s, and it works perfect. All right, let's take a little stroll through the market and see what all the Worthington Market offers. It's pretty amazing. It's huge. For the sake of time, I'm gonna walk behind the vendor booths so I can scoot through here a little faster. A lot of little eateries as well.
And also, like,
This is the Grader's parking lot area, so it's completely full over here. Lines both sides of the streets. We got another parking lot over here, and we still have about 2 blocks worth down this way on both sides of the street. All right, I'm currently at the south end of the market. I'm gonna cross the street and we'll walk back on the east side.
and then she leaves me.
He's now at
Got a pretty good line here at the coffee tent. There's multiple coffee tents here. That's definitely a busy one. Now we're in the Grader's parking lot. This is a massive line for something. We gotta figure out what that is over there. Oh, it's the cucumber guy. They got the biggest line in Worthington.
One in Cherokee. Yeah, the first one said she got my child. Don't look a thing lower like me, no.
All right, we're gonna skip the crowds. Walk behind the stands again for time's sake. We're almost back to our stand right there where the white box truck is. We'll walk all the way to the north end. And this might be one of the only food trucks at Worthington. They rotate out. There's a different food truck here every week. All right, now we're entering the north end of the market. This is the green space, the intersection of High Street and 161. As you can see, we got lots of vendors over here across the street. Quite a few over here as well. I think they have some yoga sessions out here in the mornings. Live music. They have live music in like 6 locations throughout this market, at least. A lot of people playing music today. Makes for a great environment for a morning farmers market on Saturdays. All right, we're just about to the north end of the market. Crossing the street can be a nightmare down here. You can see everybody waiting to cross here. I'm not going to go over there. There's several more vendors over there in that green space. Never usually anybody over here. We're going to cross right here when we get a chance. Made it across the road. Final few vendors through here. Working our way back to my stand. Sometimes it looks busy just because of the crowds, even though they're not in line necessarily. You can see it kind of gets bottlenecked up right there in front of a Cluck and our stand. This is what happens throughout the day. And people will try to walk through the back of the stand like this. So we always have to block off our stand. But since I'm a vendor, no big deal. Tim not here today?
no.
Oh, okay. Back to our stand. Gavin's working hard, so is Nate. So we're currently halfway through the market. It is just after 10 a.m. So we still got 2 good hours of sales. Let's see how we're doing here. Basil plants are a little slow. Tomatoes are doing fairly well. Those are all empty. We might make it. We'd have to have a really good final 2 hours to get rid of all those, but that's fine. I'm okay if we don't sell out of every tomato because we have a weekday market starting now and our trailer in Marysville has started. So maybe we can start backing off our truck to maybe 60 boxes instead of 70, and that might be enough here. I would rather my employees come home with 5 or 10 boxes of tomatoes rather than sell out early, because then you're sitting there for a half hour to an hour and a half with nothing to sell. And tomatoes are the big draw right now until we get more produce. As I've mentioned in a prior video, this is by far our busiest market. We're hoping to sell 70 boxes of tomatoes, 18 flats of grape tomatoes, lots of salsa, fair amount of basil plants, lots of maple syrup, and we should bring home about $4 grand from this market. It could go as high as 6 on a good sweet corn, cantaloupe, green bean day. So yeah, it's still a lot of room for growth and improvement as things ramp up and we start to bring more of our own items to market once they ripen. It's just a little early here on June 1st. But still not a bad payday. That'll go a long way towards paying back the $100,000 that I borrowed at the beginning of the year in order to operate the farm with seeds, chemicals, fertilizers, labor, propane, boxes, bags, many other supplies. So we should have a good day. Good weather really helps, that's for sure. I just texted all the other markets that are here in Columbus to see if they needed anything before I hit the road. Everybody's good to go. All right, just made it home from Worthington, and I thought I'd come out and give you a little look at our early sweet corn crop. I would say it's about knee high, and I'm guessing here in about a week to 10 days, I'll be able to look down inside the whorl and see a little tassel starting to shoot up. So we're not far off. I've had several requests about discussing my weed control, my herbicides that I use on sweet corn and my other vegetables. I do plan on doing a video here in the near future about how I keep the weeds out of my corn. As you can see, it is a perfectly clean patch. I mean, other than just a few little sprigs of yellow nut sage, I don't see any weeds at all. This is what I like to see. It's gonna be great picking come early July. Alrighty folks, this is where we're gonna wrap up today's video. I want you to know that I have so much content that I wanna share. I would have to post a video every day of the year to even scratch the surface of everything going on around the farm. However, that is impossible for me to do that much filming, editing, and posting on YouTube. Maybe at some point I'll have someone helping me, I don't know. It sure was nice getting the Marysville trailer up and running today, and glad I had an opportunity to visit the Worthington Farmers Market. It's one of my favorites, and I always love visiting that market. But unfortunately, this is probably the only and last time I'll be able to visit the rest of the summer, because I'm usually just too busy around the farm to get away to help at farmers markets. Whether you're a longtime viewer of my channel or a brand new subscriber, first of all, I want you to know that I appreciate you all, and that if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. And if you enjoy the content, don't forget to give it a big old thumbs up. It'll really help the channel grow and get put out there in YouTube land. Well, this is where we're going to wrap up today's video, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see y'all again real soon down the farm.